Hello Nation and welcome to Var Nation Friday night late stream. I'm your host Rock Var here with my co-host Bodie, and we are going to talk tonight about all the DCUO news that just came out in the past couple of days, and there has been a ton of it. You have to forgive me, I'm not quite set up yet with my stream. It's been a hell of an evening trying to get to this point, so a little bit chaotic here. One of the first things that we're going to talk about is the announcement of the new content. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to see the live stream that happened earlier today from DC Universe Online. If you haven't, go to the website, and actually I'll go back and put a link to it in the description of this video. You can watch it after the fact and see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Tom, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining. I realize this is a late stream for you, maybe it's an early stream for you. I apologize to you guys for missing the stream day before yesterday. I told you all going into this time of the year, it's a very busy time of year for me at work, and it's just been so exhausting that sometimes, like what happened that night was, I got done with work, I took a nap, I didn't wake up till almost midnight, and so I was like, well, at that point it's a little bit too late to stream. So yeah, that's going to happen more often than not, guys, to be honest with you. And I realize that I'm not going to keep being able to keep making up streams when I miss them like that. I'm going to have to just let it go, because it's just, I'm going to kill myself trying to keep up with work, streaming the YouTube channel and everything. So I'm going to have to just kind of chill back and let the chips fall where they may. But we'll do the stream tonight. We'll stream again Sunday. I don't know if we'll end up doing one tomorrow or not. It just depends on how things go. So we'll just kind of play that by ear, because we've got a lot going on over the weekend. Tom has an unlimited cash tip, as long as it's not going to get me in trouble. Yes, I wouldn't mind having it. So tonight we're going to talk about the live stream that happened on DCUO today, and all of the news that comes from that. I'm going to read through the letter that came out on the website that talks about everything. We're going to talk about some stuff that we learned in the stream, for those of you that haven't seen it yet. We're also going to talk about artifacts, and I'm going to go through and show you what I've learned so far about the new artifact mechanic, I guess you could call it, that's entered the game. And we're going to talk a little bit spoilers and speculation about some things that look like they're coming to DC Universe Online as a result of this new content that's happening. And so we have a lot to talk about. I'm going to mosey over to the DCU Tonight backdrop to get into it a little bit more. But first, I do have to set up my stream, because I'm still talking while I'm trying to do it. Got my taco hell here. That's what took so flippin' long. I intended on going to pick it up and then come back, and I realized I didn't have my debit card after I'd already sat in line and ordered and waited and got to the window, and so I had to go back. And then by the time I did, of course, the drive-thru has like 8 cars in front of me, and the inside portion is not open at this point in the evening here. So it really screwed up my plans a little bit, but that still wouldn't have got us on much earlier. It was only 10 o'clock. It was a little after 10 when I went to start doing that. So, it really wouldn't have helped things too much, but the end result is we would have been late anyway. So there you go. But big news. So they streamed tonight, or actually it was this afternoon for some people. It was this evening for some people. It was 5 o'clock p.m. my time. I think it was 2 o'clock Pacific time. And they talked about the new content that we've got coming our way November 15th. For anybody that doesn't know the drop date yet, November 15th, we're getting brand new content in DC Universe Online again. This time, the premise of it has to do with Earth 3. In fact, that's the title, and Earth 3 is the the universe or the part of the multiverse where the Crime Syndicate is, and the Crime Syndicate is the evil version of the Justice League. So we're getting a dark, villainous, evil version of our Justice League that we love, that we've come to know and love. And along with that is going to come some very kick-ass styles. And so we're going to go and read through exactly what we're looking forward to in that. But before we get really, really going in that, I am a little bit uneasy right now. I'm not uneasy because I'm not going to like the content. I'm a little uneasy because, as you guys know, I am a big fan of Superman. I am a big fan of classic Superman. It really hurt my feelings, to be honest with you, when DC Comics decided that they were going to get rid of the red trunks on Superman. You all know that. I talk about it all the time. And so one of the things that I've always liked about DC Universe Online is that they did not follow the New 52 format. They stuck with the classic versions of the characters. So we had Superman in all of his red trunked glory. And I really liked it. I was very happy that that stayed the same. And basically, as new versions of things came out, they capitalize on the multiple Earths, but they typically keep the base of the game set in the time period that I liked of comics. That said, it looks like things might be a changin'. I saw in the live stream that they've introduced a version of Superman that is the and it's actually not too far off from what I like because it's the same character. They're introducing the Rebirth version of Superman into the game, which is cool because that is the Superman that I grew up loving. That's the Superman that got beaten by Doomsday. That's the Superman that marries Lois Lane and ends up having a son with her. He's come back into comics recently in Convergence, and the New 52 Superman now has been officially killed off by Doomsday. Our Superman, my Superman, from the time period that I love, has stepped up into the role, and he is now, as far as the public is concerned, Superman, because they don't know that it's a different dude. So with that, DC Comics put out a new costume for my favorite hero, which is similar in one aspect to the New 52 suit and to the suit that was put in Man of Steel, in that there are no red trunks on Superman. So they went back to a more classic looking color scheme. They've given it, it doesn't look like armor like the New 52 Superman does. It's not, it's got a really nice S shield, very vibrant blue color. Doesn't have all the goofiness that I don't like about the Man of Steel costume. Has pretty kick-ass boots, a nice looking belt. It is a super cool costume, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though I love classic Superman, this costume has, for the most part, when I see it, makes me forget that the trunks are not there. I mean, it is a good looking suit. There's no doubt about it. It's like the best of both worlds. And so on the live stream, I noticed that was the Superman that was in the content doing it with you. You know how you'll have the Justice League characters will show up from time to time, and they will be fighting alongside you. Well, I saw the Superman, and it is supposed to be the Rebirth Superman. After the stream, someone tweeted a picture of it online. On Twitter, of course. That's the only place you can tweet, so I guess I don't really have to go into too much detail on the fact that it was Twitter. But, and they asked SJ, is this going to be just in the new content, this new suit, or is this going to be carry over into old content too? And she replied that it will be in old content too. And so I then asked, and I don't know that I've been answered yet, I'll kind of check in and see here in a little while because she's really good at answering tweets. Are they replacing him throughout the entire game? Or is this just kind of like the promotional deal like they did when they changed the Supergirl costume? Because if you guys remember a while back, they changed the Supergirl costume when the Supergirl TV show came out. And they made her look in-game, everywhere you saw her in-game, look like the new Supergirl costume from the TV show. And that lasted not all that long. I mean, they did it. It lasted for a little while, and then they changed it back. So there are places in the game where you can find that new Supergirl costume. They did make it a Legends character, but they didn't leave it throughout the entire game for all that long. And so what I'm wanting to find out is, are they introducing this new Superman costume, this new rebirth, or this rebirth version of Superman into the game as what he is, as Rebirth Superman? Or are they just flat out replacing the costume in every version of the character in the game? If that is the case, I'm not going to be thrilled. I would much rather have it be, hey, okay, look, the new universe where where Rebirth Superman exists now, has found its way into the DCUO universe. They've collided, so to speak. And that I can be cool with. But flat out replacing the costume and just doing that, I'm not too, I don't think I'll be too thrilled about. But, you know, all complaining aside, the fact that it's an awesome costume helps. The fact that this is not a disgusting disgrace of a costume like what I've seen in some other, what I felt that New 52 was, and that I felt that Man of Steel's costume was, helps, because this is good looking. I mean, if they would have consulted DC Universe Online and the art people at DC Universe Online when they did Man of Steel, I would have liked that costume a hell of a lot better. Like, there's no doubt about that this game has some of the most talented conceptual artists in video games, because you could have they could have taken the costume from Injustice, which is still cool, but it wouldn't have worked, in my opinion. It would have just been kind of a disaster. But I don't know who's responsible for the look of the new design at DCUO, but it's flippin' beautiful. So I'm not gonna, I'm not at a point where I would say, oh, they ruined it, because it's cool looking, I'm just at a point where I'm a little uneasy. I'm not a huge fan of change, and anything that changes like that drastically makes me nervous. So we'll see how SJ responds and what it is, and I'll deal with it, of course, because I love the game. But it's kind of a shock to me. But my hope, again, at the end of the day, I'm sorry I'm not looking at the chat. I'm mixing my drink right now while I'm having this conversation, because I still haven't done my pre-game ritual here. I got my Taco Bell. I gotta have it's Bloody Mary night in the Var household, and so I gotta get the Bloody Mary going. Still watching a lot of From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, and it's really making me want to drink Bloody Marys. Vampire shows have a way of doing that to me. It's like, I like my Bloody Mary extra bloody. Did he? I don't know if he just did, honey. No. So anyway, I'm going to walk back in here and get in the chat. Let me know what you guys think, if you've seen the stream, if you've seen the pictures, and you've seen what the new costume looks like. What you think of it. It's cool. Tell me honestly. I'm open. All right, so let's get back to the chat and say hello to everyone who's on here. Tom, of course, um, asked about the unlimited cash tip, and he says the mission where you protect Riddler from Deathstroke, it can drop the Deathstroke chest piece, and it sells on the broker for millions. That's true, man. That is, and it's a kick-ass looking chest piece. So good tip. And he says he only wishes that the episodes opened already. Me too. In fact, I'll be surprised if we see Shadow tonight because they are on test server, so he's probably gaming it up. Let's see. Tom says, I wish they gave us Blue Beetle styled, paired up with Quantum Power would look dope. Yes, it would. He said, did Superman finally learn to wear his underpants on the inside of his pants? I think that's really what's happening here, to be honest with you. Because DC Comics has gone way the hell out of their way to change that. I think Jeff Johns and I think some of the guys over at DC grew up in that era where they loved comics. They weren't. I know Johns was a Superman fan, but he was more of a Flash fan and Green Lantern. And so I'm thinking that what has happened here is DC Comics has finally, in their opinion, phased out the trunks, because it's happened all across the board. It's happened with the new television, the new movies, the new cartoons. The only place now, once this happens in DCUO, that it hasn't happened is in the Bruce Timm verse. And if Bruce Timm ever comes back with the show, I halfway expect that it'll be that way there too, because here's what I think has happened. I think DC Comics has gone to pretty much every, I don't want to say venue, but because that's not the right word. They've gone to pretty much every media and said, look, we've tried really hard to phase this thing out. You guys are going to have to follow suit, because I think in their minds in 10 years, nobody's going to care anymore. You know, there's not going to be the me's running around that are losing their minds every time they see it. And that, you know, that if that's what they want to do, it's their character. And they may have to. I mean, if you think about it, that whole thing that happened with the lawsuit with the Siegel and Schuster family and DC Comics, a lot of the likeness stuff they have to pay rights now for. And maybe that's one of those things. I don't know. You know, maybe that's one of those things where if they keep using it, they got to keep paying royalties for it. And they're thinking, we're just going to end up changing the suit to the point where it's not recognizable as the one that Schuster created and Siegel created. And that I can understand a little bit. I mean, I feel like those guys should get paid for the rest of their existences just for having created the character. But and I don't say that lightly, not just creating the character. They fucking created Superman. You know what I mean? Like, their families should never want for anything. They should be ludicrously rich for the rest of their existence, because DC Comics will always survive based... If DC Comics lost everything except Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, they would still thrive and survive. And so I feel like the people that created those characters should also be in that boat. But that's just me. I'm always on the creator's side. Lone Wolf Gamer says, do you think they'll bring a new Superman emblem? And thank you for joining the stream, Lone Wolf Gamer. Yes, I think they might, because the new 52, or not the new 52, the Rebirth emblem is a lot more like the one you're seeing on my chest right now. It's bigger. And the one they've introduced is much smaller, which I don't really understand, because in Man of Steel it's not small either. So they kind of gave us a mixture between the Man of Steel and Superman Returns emblems. That's the one part of that suit that I didn't necessarily care for in Superman Returns, was just the fact that the emblem was smaller. I like a big emblem, and I felt like since it was a return of the same character, you know, the emblem that Christopher Reeves wore was huge, you know, so I feel like it should have been much bigger. But Yeah, he says it's not. If not, then it's not fair because Batman got one. I agree. Lone Wolf Gamer says, yeah, the Superman looks dope, but why didn't Wonder Woman get an update or Batman? Well, that's probably true too, and I would expect that those things may be on the way. I would expect that can happen. Tom says, I can guarantee 100% if they introduce other light powers to the game, it will be the biggest update they ever had, and it will attract more people and more people. And I'm not laughing because I don't agree, because I do agree. You and your hard light powers, you love them. And I love them too, man. I don't blame you. Connor Creed, what's up, buddy? Thank you for joining the stream. Lone Wolf Gamer says, yeah, and Casper Ghostman. Hello, Casper. How's it going, man? What's up, Jeffrey? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining. It was awesome running with you the other night, Jeffrey. I know it was kind of fate. You know what I mean? We were fated to be together. We both queued for a mission. We're both in the same league now, and so honest to God, I logged in. It was one of those times when I wasn't really paying attention to who was on and who wasn't on, and we queued and we ended up in the same mission with each other, the stabilizer mission, I think it was, and we went through, and I love it, man. Anytime you're on and you want to do stuff, I know I'm busy a lot of the time when I log in, and I don't mean to be off-putting with that. It's just a lot of times when I log in, I've got a finite amount of time and I've got certain things I have to do. The stabilizer run is normally one of those things. Now the vault is one of those things, guys, and we're going to go into just exactly how important the vault is these days, because it is ridiculously important. Lone Wolf Gamer, they should actually add a solar power with all of Kryptonian's abilities. I flippin' agree, my friend, and thank you for joining. Yeah, Jeffrey says that was random as hell. That's like it really was. It was just like, holy shit, looky there. How you doing, buddy? I think we both were kind of thinking the same thing. Like, hey, holy shit. So anyway, I promised, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over to DCUO's website right now. I was gonna try and do this stream with the face cam so that I could show you guys the website, but I didn't do it because every time I try to, I end up having a huge disaster on my hands, and I just didn't have time to mess with it since we didn't get started till late. So let's see if the site's going to open. There's so many people on it right now that... Alright, we got a development update of Earth 3, and once this video goes live, I will put this up, a link to this in the description so that you guys can see it. And I just want to start out by saying, God damn, the looks of these characters are flippin' amazing. I'm looking at a picture of the Crime Syndicate right now. The detail, and I think this is probably why they've redone Superman's costume, is the detail that they can do now in the game. If you could, I mean, you're literally looking at every nook and cranny of Superman's costume. I mean, this is like, and it's not like in Man of Steel where it looks like a basketball. Like, I don't know, they did the texturing and the color just right to where this looks like what I would want it to look like. It looks like a nice, like, rubber-ish, padded, I don't know how to describe it. It's just right. I guess that's the word to say. It's just so right. It's just so right. So what we're looking at here is, in the new episode, we're going to Earth 3, of course. This is, again, going to launch November 15th. It's going to introduce the Crime Syndicate, which is Earth 3's evil version of the Justice League. It's going to reunite the full cast of the Justice League for a set of epic new adventures set on our Earth and on theirs. So, things that we need to know. Earth 3 is an alternate universe. It's a version of Earth where good is evil and evil is good. So, essentially, things are all jacked up. People think that villains are good. You know what I mean? It's like everything's all bass backwards here. The Crime Syndicate includes Ultraman, which would be Superman, Owlman, which would be Batman, Superwoman, which would be Wonder Woman, and a few others, and we'll probably get to them here. They didn't list them right off the bat, but this is going to be a kind of a big change in comparison to what we're used to seeing in launches. So not only is this a launch where we're going to get all kinds of cool stuff to do, this is also going to be an event. So it's what they're saying here is Earth 3's content structure combines the best qualities of episodes with permanent and challenging content for endgame players with the best qualities of events, level agnostic and limited time access for all players. Earth 3's rewards combine the best 3 qualities of episodes with the best qualities of events. So we're going to see we're going to see permanent in-game progression, but we're also going to see limited time, and they apparently like using the word agnostic now, level agnostic progression, which what they're trying to say is it's going to be a tuned gear.
Oh my gosh.
So
Good night, Tom.
uh-oh, Tom, sorry buddy, said good night. It's 4:37 in the morning for me, so I can't endure it anymore. Too tired. Have a good stream. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for joining as much of the stream as you could, man. I apologize for being so late. I'll try to make it as early as I can for you on Sunday, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom. Round of applause. Okay, so Earth 3's structure. It says they're raising the bar for episodes here with a better targeted approach to creating content. They have enormous diversity in our player base, players of all types with all sorts of expectations, and in episode 30 they want to have more freedom to design content specifically for more of these different kinds of players, which makes sense. Says, what does that all mean? Earth 3 will have 3 different types or versions of content. You're used to seeing 2 versions, normal and elite. Additionally, this episode will have an easier stack-clamped version of all instances. The stack-clamped versions, essentially a Starro-sized major event, will launch alongside and in addition to the full episode for all players over level 10 and will remain until episode 31 launches next year. So players level 10 and up will have the ability to take advantage of this through the launch of the next episode, which is something that they've started doing, and I like a lot. The fact that they are allowing more than just the in-game players to experience some of this content, because it gives you something to look forward to. It gives you a little bit of a boost in your leveling, takes away some of the monotony for some of the people that have done, tune after tune after tune after tune, and it's like we've seen this content 150 times, even though it's still cool, 150,000 million bajillion times. This gives us something to break up our day and go do something out of this event and get some cool rewards for our lower level tunes. So we are going to have an open world, a version that is stack clamped for everyone. They're going to have a duo and an alert. There's going to be a version that is stack clamped for everyone and a version for players combat rating 207 and up. There's going to be 3 versions of raids. Version A, stack clamped. Version B, end game for players 207 and up. And version C will be the elite. So it says by creating 3 versions of content instead of 2, they're able to focus more specifically on the experience of different groups for player desire. The stack clamped content is highly accessible and of course open to players from any level, so it's a light, easygoing experience. The regular end-game version is more challenging but still accessible to the majority of players. Because they have these 2 easier options, this really freed them up to ratchet up the difficulty in the elite version. So we can look forward to the elite version being hard as shit. And for lack of better words, I can only imagine what it's going to be like in there. I haven't been doing elite content recently, but it's just, if it's harder than what it normally is, it's going to be hard. Um, Earth 3 rewards. Each version of this content will share loot locks. So that means if you choose to go in the easy version, that's all you're going to get loot from that day. Get what I'm saying? So you wouldn't be able to go in and do the easy version and then go in and do the regular version and still get loot. You're going to have to pick which one you want to do each day. But that's cool. I mean, that makes sense, I suppose. We're going to get Ultra Bucks, which is cool. I like the fact that they're going with actual money in the marks. So in the event content rewards that are stack clamped, we're going to get Ultra Bucks, open world rewards including OP item collections, but instances do not. What the shit? Oh, okay. So open world content will drop OP items. Instances will not drop OP items in this situation. They have scaling gear drops to scale up the entire level of episode 30. The event content will have feats. The event content has an event gear set on the episode vendor that automatically scales to your level. You'll get the new Johnny Quick style. There is a feat style for the open world content. And once you complete the style on the easy content, it will drop the price, just like it does in anything else anymore. So I should go back and clear up that when I say the open world content rewards OP item collections, but the instance does not, they're talking about the stack clamped version of the instance. So then moving on to the in-game content rewards. For players 207 plus, it rewards the standard amount of Ultra Bucks. It can drop OP item collections. It has standard scaling gear drops, has more feats, has in-game gear set on the episode vendor that is the best gear on the vendor. The new style is the Owlman style. Of course, there's a feat for getting that. And once you get the feat, the purchase drops. So yeah, so that's cool too. And that makes sense of how you can get the Johnny Quick style for one thing, the Owlman style for the other. So I'm really we're gonna want to do both sets really. And the elite content rewards for players 207 up that are doing the elite content. That is going to move my camera. That is going to do rewards more Ultra Bucks and elite Renown. Oh shit. Now we're introducing elite Renown. Now there's another reason to want to do the elite stuff. Plus you're going to get more Ultra Bucks if you do the elite content, which makes sense. Why wouldn't you get paid more for doing the harder content? I get that. You get an increased chance to drop OP item collections. It has a standard scaling gear drop, has even more feats and special headline. Ooh. Has an elite gear set on the episode vendor that requires Renown, is actually the best gear on the vendor. It's the enhanced Owlman. And feats go along with that, blah blah blah, same kind of thing. Now, quickly let me jump back and get to chat, because the next thing we're going to talk about may blow some minds. Let's go back. Connor Creed wants to restore his Spider-Man tune. Jeffrey Lane says the devs need to fix PvP and bring back the debuffs. I think everyone can pretty much agree with that. Yeah, Lone Wolf Gamer says, I think it's because DCUO updated because they're now moving to PS4. No doubt that there will be a lot more graphics changes to come, I would expect. Oh, Casper's out. Sorry, man. See you later, Casper. Yes, they did, Connor. Connor Creed says, didn't they make an animated movie involving the crime syndicate? They did. Was that... Did that all happen in flashback? No? There was another one? No, that was actually called Earth 3, wasn't it? Or... Shit, I can't remember. The Battle of Two Earths or something like that. Yeah. It was good. It was really good. Actually, we should watch that to get ready for this. Yeah, man, that's cool. Lone Gamer says, you know what DCUO should do is add heroes versus villains all-out war events like Clan Wars. That would be some sweet shit right there. I would get down with that. I'm not big on PvP. If it was just PvP, though, I would do it. But if it was also doing, like, you know, different things, outside missions and stuff like that to try, kind of like the world events are, I would totally be down with that. Oh my.
Good job, baby.
Best bloody I've ever made. Right there. It wins the award. Connor Creed also wants to know, when is Watchmen going to get some love in the game? I would imagine that's going to come in a little while. If you're following the comics, which I'm not doing a whole lot right now, they're pretty much they are introducing the Watchmen as part of Convergence, and I think they've really just kind of got to the point where they're coming out of the shadows in the mainstream universe, and so I feel like we probably will get some of that in DCUO. So I think hang tight on that, because it's going to be a big year next year. I think there's going to be a lots of good stuff on the way in DC Universe Online. Jeffrey says they need a Nightfall Doc, Death of Superman DLC, Thanagar War Flashpoint DLC, and an Infinite Crisis DLC, and Aquaman DLC. Hell yeah! And I think I feel like they might be setting us up for the Infinite Crisis DLC with the addition of Alexander Luthor. We were just talking about Alexander Luthor on the stream a couple of weeks ago, and how cool of a character that is. And he's in this DLC in a big way. So I think that it's very possible that we could get something leading up to the Infinite Crisis saga. It may not be necessarily called that, but I think it could share a lot of the same characteristics, maybe DCUO's version of it, because we kind of already getting crises in the game, you know? It's kind of as though they're already doing that, but they're just not following the actual crisis. Connor says, you must be my twin from another Earth. That makes sense. Megas Gaming, thank you for joining. Megas says it looks cool. I'm just kind of skimming through. Kingdom Come DLC would be cool. Titans DLC, New 52 DLC would be all right, as long as they keep it segregated. And a lot more operations. And a Speed Force aura. So have you seen Jeffrey Lane? Have you watched the thing? Because you may not be getting a Speed Force aura, but the back piece that comes with Johnny Quick suit looks like what I think the Speed Force aura would look like. And you can use it on pretty much any... once you get it, of course, you can put it with pretty much any outfit. I'm going to be using the shit out of it on my Flash Toon if I ever get him up to that level. Yes, that's right. Jeffrey says the cartoon was Battle of Two Earths, and Batman was a beast as usual. Yes, he was. That was the one where it was like their version of Batman looked like he had claws. I never played the Infinite Crisis game, Connor. I should try and track that down. Jeffrey says Krypton show will be amazing with Brainiac and the real Doomsday, Adam Strange, Hawkgirl, and Green Lantern. It looks sweet. I just saw the actor today that's going to be playing Brainiac. He freaking looks like Brainiac. Oh, okay. Jeffrey meant Nightfall DLC. That's cool, though. Yeah, man, that would be awesome. So, yeah. I agree with you all. So, let's back to Earth 3. This is something that I think is going to make some people mad. I don't know. I think some people it's going to make very happy. I'm not trying to be a dick. It's going to make me very happy. And And it may also make me very sad because, as you guys know, with PS3 leaving the mix in January, we're not sure we're continuing Lida's subscription. In fact, she wanted me to cancel it today. I went to do so, and fate intervened. Her subscription doesn't renew until mid to late December, so we've actually already paid for it for the next 2 months, so I didn't cancel it. And so we've got from now until the end of December to decide, are we going to end up getting another PS4, or are we going to cancel the subscription? She wants to cancel. Either way we go, I will continue my Legendary membership. So we're just talking about Lida's here. But they had a format a while back of the members get more. It's something that they throw out there all the time. Member gifts happen a lot of times, and they say, members get more. But is that actually the case? I believe it is. I always have. I'm a firm believer in the Legendary membership. For those who can't do it, I'm sorry. I feel for you. I feel your pain. I would never be like, some kind of elitist and say like anything negative about being a free-to-play player, because that's another great way to enjoy the content. It takes us all to make the world go around here in DC Universe Online. But in this new content, they're introducing a new type of reward that is a members-only reward. And so, in every piece of content, the last boss is going to reward a special box just for members and purchasers of the episode. So you do not have to simply be a Legendary member to take advantage of it. If you're Legendary, Premium, even if you're whatever you are, if you've purchased the DLC, you're going to get the member drops. But it's going to be a special drop from the last boss that will only you will receive. It will not be group loot. It will not be some bullshit that, is random. And it is going to include an enhanced version of the event gear style. So an enhanced version of the Johnny Quick gear. Bonus OP collection items. And unique base items. So base items that everyone else in the game can't get. Let's go through these one by one. So enhanced versions of the event gear style. That's the only thing I knew about until I went and read this just now. I knew that was happening. I did not know about the other things. So this is the one that I'm thinking, yeah, that's fair. That's cool. I can get down with that. I typically don't like the enhanced stuff. Like I don't normally wear it, but I'm digging it. You know what I mean? Like I just like the fact that there's a little something extra on the top. You know what I'm saying? If I want to wear it, I can. But it's cool that you're thinking of us. You know what I'm saying? It's cool that you're thinking of people who are paying for the content. I dig it. The bonus OP collection items? I don't know, man. That might be a little hurtful. Because now you're helping people get feats faster than people who don't pay for subs. Well, Lida says that's cool, and I get it, but there's a whole community of people out there that are pissed because in their mind an MMO should not be play to win or pay to win. Feats in their mind should not be associated with things that you can pay for. Feats should be earned in game. And I agree with that. Well, she says you do earn it by being a Legendary member. But any Joe Schmo can be a Legendary member, and you're not putting forth an extra effort that I feel like you should be getting additional feats. I don't know. That's just me. Toss it out there. think about it. Also, the unique base items, that's kind of the same thing. That one I'm a little bit more okay with because as long as there's not a feat associated with the base items, I feel like, okay, yeah, if you want to reward legendary members and people that pay to play the game with some special base items, number one, hopefully those items are sellable on the market, because if I can get special base items, I feel like there should be some kind of a way maybe for other players to get those as well. I get it being a reward and you don't necessarily want to make that reward available to everybody, but to have it be sellable or even tradable. If I get it, well, I mean, it's got to be tradable to be sellable, but if I get it, let's say I get a real kick-ass base item for being a member, and my boy is, or girl, my friend is not a member, and I want to hook them up and be like, hey, here you go, check the, thanks for being my friend or whatever. I don't know if that's how gifts work. Do you just be like, thanks for being my friend, and give people gifts? Yeah, then I should be able to do that. I would think that would be cool. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about the stuff there? We'll see. It says after they talk about, though, that it says we expect the player or alt who is not yet at endgame to enjoy the easy event content, the endgame player to enjoy the accessible endgame content, and as usual, the elite player to rise to the challenge of the elite raids to get that improved elite gear, all while the increase in currency rewards or extended vendor discounts keep everything within reach. So that's pretty much just a wrap on the rewards. I will also go into the story arcs here too. Let's get back to the chat though before we do that, because we're running. Damn, I've been talking for a long time, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, Connor Creed says Infinite Crisis was shut down a couple years ago. Jeffrey wants the aura around the whole body. No, I understand, man. It's not greedy. He said I'm greedy, and a Leo, nothing is ever good enough for me. Someone's having way too much fun in the background. Yep, Bodie and Lida. Bodie's all about the stream now. He likes hanging out in here while we're doing it.
I was in there swinging him, kissing his feet.
Jeffrey wants to know, what do I think about the Aquaman game? Damn, you know what? I'm going to have to go back and check it out because I don't remember. From GameCube. Oh, okay. I don't know. I am gonna have to go back and check that out. I'm sorry, man. Mega says we need a JL Dark episode. Hell yeah. Yeah. That'll be sweet. Every power. Jeffrey says every power now Kryptonian. All the rest of the Lantern powers, Dark powers, Chemical and mutagens. Plastic Man powers, Blue Beetle power, Weather Wizard power, and power sets from the heroes in the game like Dr. Fate's actual animations. Weather Wizard animations, Raven animations, and so on. Basically unique animations like Legends. Yeah, I dig that. Connor says we all need mental powers like what Colossus and the dude from Legends of Tomorrow have. Oh, metal powers. Yeah, that'd be tight. Commander Steel. Speaking of that, sorry, I'm stuffing a burrito in my face.
Star Sapphire powers.
Lida wants Star Sapphire powers really bad. Speaking of that, Legends has been phenomenal. We've caught up with it now. That show's kicking my ass. I am loving it. Lida about lost her mind when Isis showed up. More character styles like Man-Bat, Etrigan, Doomsday, Brainiac, Swamp Thing, and more skins like faces from different alien races. Good ideas, man. I hope that you, Jeffrey, watch the Daybreak Games website for job listings, because if they ever have any creative opportunities on there, I feel like you could get in there. You should definitely pay attention to it. You could end up on SJ's team, man. That would be sweet. So the first, as far as content is concerned, good God, there's a bunch of it. Nah, no, there's not. All right, we're gonna hit it and hit it hard.
Hit what hard?
I'm just gonna talk about the operation, the different things. So the duo is a 2-player operations titled The Visitor. The story begins in The Visitor, an epic 2-player operation that reveals their first doppelganger from Earth 3, Alexander Luthor. Yes, at great risk, he has traveled to our world to request help against the crime syndicate, a council of evil super beings that use their great strength to rule his world. He means well, but the Justice League is a bit uneasy trusting anyone with Lex Luthor's face. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. This isn't the Alexander Luthor that's married to Matrix Supergirl, is it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
I think so.
So we may end up seeing Matrix Supergirl. That would be awesome at some point. Maybe not in this, but I know a version of Alexander Luthor is. I don't know if it's Earth 3's or not. The open world missions, Gotham City Tri-Corner. What the hell? I thought they were in Metropolis when I saw it.
I kept on saying Gotham City.
It's just bright in Earth 3 and not like dark.
Yeah, because it's like it's.
Oh, god damn.
Also, it's snowy there.
The only place we ever go is Gotham City. They really like Gotham.
Summer, they said. That's why.
It says at the end of The Visitor, the Justice League, Lex Luthor, and heroes and villains alike have traveled to Earth 3 to help, or in Lex's case, to explore. My DualShock is disconnected. Better reconnect it. Or to explore this alluring world where evil can win. The snowy city is bleak and run by a corrupt mayor by the name of James Gordon. And we did learn in this, maybe they're getting ready to say it, James Gordon has killed Nightwing in this story. And so Batman is pissed. Dick has gone down. When you arrive, you see that Justice League has set up a hidden base beneath a bridge in the city. They need your help to get the lay of the land and find out more about this world and about its evil oppressors. Lex Luthor is along for the ride, but instructs villains to share any and all information with him because he has an idea. And Batman has tasked you and your friends to find a way to bring down Mayor Gordon. So there you go. Also, Injustice System is a 4-player alert. Batman has stormed the giant oppressive municipal building in an effort to track down the corrupt Mayor Gordon, but the mayor doesn't rule his city alone, and he's ready to light the signal and call for backup. There are 2 versions of that, of course, the stat clamped and in-game. The 8-player raid. Jeezy Pete's, I'm not even sure I can say this. The Panopticon. Surprising no one, Lex has an ulterior motive in all of this and is struck out on his own. He is determined to take down the crime syndicate himself, starting with Ultraman. Unfortunately for him, he is captured before he can find his quarry. You must join Alexander and the rest of the Justice League to mount a dangerous rescue inside the Panopticon, the crime syndicate's twisted version of the Watchtower. Lucky for us, Cyborg has found a way in. And I believe that's where we're going to run into the new Superman costume. So really, what I was thinking was that they were bringing in a different version of Superman. They're not. They just changed his damn costume. The Escape is an 8-player raid. So we're going to get 2 raids. The crime syndicate has uncovered a way to tear open a massive hole in time and space, one large enough to drive the entire Panopticon through. And that is their plan, to drive it right into our Earth's orbit. The entire team must assemble to take on the crime syndicate in an epically ridiculous battle of the best between these 2 worlds. There are 3 versions of this raid: Event, Stat Clamped, Endgame, and Elite. So that's awesome. And on this page also is the live stream, which you guys can watch for yourselves. So Jeffrey likes my dick joke. So that is that, guys. This content looks phenomenal. I know I haven't got a lot of chance to talk about artifacts. We'll do that in the next stream, probably more, but artifacts are awesome. I've been enjoying it. It's given me a reason to go to the vault with all of my tunes. I got to do League of Assassins Stronghold and get feats out of it for the first time in what seems like eons. And and what was funny about it actually is that whenever I'm doing it, I'm going into League of Assassins. I'm a 209, and I'm in there with other 200 plus combat rating tunes. We're just beating the ever-loving crap out of it. It is a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. That may be bad, but I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So, Connor Creed also thinks we need an Arrowverse episode. Oh, Jeffrey Lane says it was an underwater game, but I don't know if they could build it ground up. Maybe they can't do it because of that. I think I remember actually playing that game now that you mention it. Ooh, Jeffrey says he would have vehicles connected to our stats. Connor Creed says, alright peeps, my old ass is getting tired, so I'm off for the night. Good night, y'all. Yeah, we're getting ready to wrap it up anyway, man, here. Actually, kind of now. Because my old ass has to wake up for work in the morning, too. And now that I've gotten myself all excited, and I've had like a 2.5 hour nap after work, I'm going to be up for the next few hours. But I have a huge amount of Taco Bell to eat. And, DCUO to play, maybe some DC TV to catch up on. So that's what we be doing in the Var household here. I want to thank you guys for joining me. We'll be back Sunday, and we'll talk more about artifacts then. Hopefully. We definitely will. And we will get into try to save that new solo that comes with the artifacts to go through, because it is fun. I really enjoy that. So but the new episode is up on PC Test now. It's going to be coming out November 15th for all players. Thank you all for joining the stream. Jeffrey Lane, Connor Creed, we had Megas on the stream tonight and in the chat, Tom, Casper. Who else did we have on here? Lone Wolf Gamer, thank you for joining the stream, buddy. I want to say that's it. If I'm forgetting anyone, I indubitably apologize. I don't think we have any new sub shout-outs to do this week, so we'll hopefully get some subs at some point, and I'll be able to do those. But if you're not subbed to the channel, please sub. Make sure you give it a like, the stream a like before you take off. That would be awesome. The recorded version of this will be up on YouTube in about an hour, so if you want to, give it a share and a like. I'll put the link to the official DCUO live stream in there too, so you guys can see what I was talking about if you haven't seen it already. And we will see you all Sunday. Thank you so much for joining, guys. For Lyda and Bodhi, this is Rock Var saying, play on. Play on. Keep playing. And when you're thinking about not playing, play on.